Alright, today I want to do a video on a review for the Deep Blue Bible. When I got this Bible 3 years ago for my son, he was becoming a good reader at that time, and I wanted something that would help captivate his heart for the Word of God. And so I found this. I was at the ladies conference one time, and I saw this book, and I thought it was very good for an inquisitive child. At that time it was around 6 years old, and he loved to read. He loved to know more information and all that. And so I got this book, this Bible. It's called Deep Blue Kids Bible. It's a CAB transition, and you can see from the worn out state of it that my son really loves it, and he carries it everywhere, and he reads it every single time he's going to the bathroom. He has it on him, and it's really good. First of all, I must say that this is a boy version. There's the girl version that will be the color of that girls like, but if you have any child that is very inquisitive and loves information, this will be a very good way to get them early into the Word of God. So these three characters are there, and there's Asia, there's Edgar, and there's Kate, and they kind of read the Bible along with the children as they do, and so it makes it even fun for them. And different parts of it, like for example, there's pop quiz as you're reading as a child. It's really fascinating. There's a sailboat, like that's the different notes and different things in this Bible, that just helps. There's this, my favorite part, is did you know? And it just calls your attention to some, trivias in the Bible. And there is the bet you can. Bet you can is, it tells you to, it's gives you a section of the Bible, and you're supposed to put your timer on and just read through, and it's like, I bet you can do that, and you can read it in 1 minute. And I see my son doing it all the time, and there are so many parts of it that I really, really love. They just give you different ideas of, like a devotional Bible for a little child. And right now, my son loves to read, like, did you know? For example, it says, imagine a modern day football stadium. The ark Noah built will take up almost the whole field, stretching from end zone to end zone and from one side of the field to the other. Plus, it would be taller than a 3-story building. That's a big boat, And, if a child sees that, it's like, wow. And he comes many times, he will tell me, Mommy, did you know that? And it's fun for him. Now, the life preserver, aspect, it says, why did people live so long? It says in Genesis, human lived for 120 years. That's an amazing fact, especially since a lifespan today may be only 40 to 50 years in countries where people don't have access to medical care or healthy living condition. As you continue to read stories in the Old Testament, you will read about people's long lifespan. We don't really know how time was counted when these books were written, or if 120 is the same as we count it today. In Psalm 90, which was written later than the books of Genesis, a normal lifetime is described as 70 to 80 years. Another way to make sense of longer lifespan is that the Bible numbers a good long life for very important people. And you see, it's just helps the child to see. Let me just go to the New Testament, and I see my son has almost finished he's read all through the Old Testament. He's even, when we do family devotion, he tells us stories. There are some stories that is mentioned in First Kings and Second Kings, and then there's some other part of it in Chronicles. He will say, if you read the Chronicles version of it, you will see that this guy also did this and that. It's really interesting. And then there is memorize Mark 13:31. So you're supposed to just memorize that heaven and earth will pass away, but my word will certainly not pass away. So it's really good. I just love this, and I planned to do this a long time ago, but I just never got to it. Today is the day that I get to do it. And I really hope that you find this Bible very good. On Amazon right now it's $29, I believe. If there's a special sale, it might be more or less, but it's very good, and it has maps at the back, and these guys at the back also, saying, we're together, and there are some references at the back that your child can you can see this little girl doing this some stunts here. It's very fascinating for a little child, and like I said, it has the girl version, which will be pink, and the boy version, which is blue, and I love it. I have another son that is starting to read now, and I'm thinking I'm going to get the same Bible for him because this one is worn out. But for my son, the owner of this one, he's not yet a teenager. He's just getting to 10 years old, 9 years old right now. So I'm still thinking what next I'll get him. I hope you can get your sons and your kids to love God's words with this. God bless you.